What is going on, guys? This is going to be me showing you how to blitz out of the nickel 3-3-5 formation. Now, a lot of you guys are well aware that nickel 3-3-5 has been my base defense for pretty much the longest time. If anybody's caught me streaming or pretty much playing any meaningful games, one of my bases that I do, especially against run-heavy players, is nickel 3-3-5. And the play that we use is predominantly two-man under. Well, in this game, you catch people audibling in and out of runs and passes, and they never really have a go-to play. Everybody has a go-to play in a sense, but a lot of players simply just come out and quick hike different plays. They're audibling from one formation to another formation just to try to see what your adjustments are. And I needed a blitz out of the 3-3-5. And 3-3-5 with the stock look simply does not give you the ability to get a really good blitz, unfortunately. However, if you show blitz with the 3-3-5 two-man under, you can get really glitchy pressure. So right here, as you see, this is an instant replay. We're going to let it run. And you'll see that we get dual B-gap pressure, and we are rushing 5 people. So, it's kind of hard to beat that. 5 people rushing, dual B-gap pressure, especially something nobody's seen before out of a defense that is absolutely hell against the run. So, we'll get into the setup now. Now, this B-gap pressure does not come from both sides all the time. It does typically come from one or the other almost every single time. But just like every other blitz in the game, different factors could make this blitz a little bit less effective. So just tossing that out there. But the main setup is we base a line, we show blitz, crash the defensive line down. Now you can do one of two things. You can either take this blitzing linebacker, move him to the outside and blitz him, and then bring the safety down and play in this gap. What that's going to do, as you'll see here, you should get B-gap pressure. Or, if they're in a trips formation like this to the right, you could simply blitz this corner and then move him over a few clicks and then stand with this middle linebacker. I believe that's what I just said. But you see this time it comes around the edge. And then you could blitz the middle linebacker, move him out. You could bring the safety down. Like, pretty much the main concept of the blitz, though, is you have to have a guy blitzing straight down right next to this little turbo angle. And then you need to bring somebody in the A-gap. And when you do that, one of two things will happen. You'll either get B-gap from either the right or the left, you will get dual B-gap, or you'll just get edge pressure. It's one of those blitzes that I really like right now because since the pressure is kind of random, you don't really know who's coming free. So in this case, you'll see nobody really came free. The turbo angle got tripped up. Do it again. This case, we get the B-gap off the defensive end on the right. So, you can pretty much just run this, and you could blitz different people. So, like, you could just blitz him, move him over. You see, that time it came edge. You got so many different ways you could do it, so you're not stuck on one player all the time. Like I said, just move dude over. As long as you're playing in this gap with somebody, you should be fine. You see, this time it came B-gap off the left. It's a really good blitz, especially considering, we can stay in our run defense. Say we want to stop the run, we could simply just call this flipped. You could do the same thing flipped. So say you want to just blitz this dude down, bring this guy over, Got picked up that time. That's typically not what's going to happen. Go ahead, we'll try it again. So, just move dude down, bring safety into the box, and you see that time we got edge heat. So, I mean, you could run it flipped, unflipped, doesn't really matter. This time we're going to run it flipped. Just going to move dude out. And we get B gap off the left. I mean, it's a really nice little scheme. And the reason behind it is the fact that you can get pressure from multiple spots. In practice mode, for whatever reason, this guy tends to not want to come down a lot. But, I mean, you can see the pressure's real. That time we got B gap and outside. So, once again, this is the nickel 335 two-man under. The setup is to base a line, show blitz, crash defensive line down. Then we need to take we need to have somebody blitzing straight down directly to the left of the turbo. After that, play in this right gap, or excuse me, the left gap, and you'll see you get somebody to come free. It'll come one of three spots. It'll come either B gap from the left or the right. It will come outside from the left, and then it'll occasionally come with a combination of both B gaps or B gap right and outside left. Not too bad. The one thing that you want to note coverage-wise, though, is since we are blitzing somebody, if you don't want to bring the safety down and then stand in the gap right here, you kind of are limited to, you have to man somebody else up. So that's just something to note on. You could do it this way too. You see, this time we get Earl coming right off the edge, the free safety. So, I mean, if you don't want to get into that hassle, simply click on Earl, bring him down, blitz him, and you're good. So now everybody's manned up, and you're getting crazy pressure. So that is 335 two-man under